Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, California Weather-wise. Today is June 8th, and right now we're looking at the mid-level water vapor loop. Check out that upper level low, now centered over Nevada and Utah. We'll keep some thunderstorms going across some of the higher terrain here, but out here across Pacific, we've got another low pressure system that's going to take its place here, so we may bounce back a little bit in the temperatures in the meantime, but then the takeaway here for the most part is that we're going to remain a little bit below average here as this next low comes in and takes its place, and it's also going to bring some enhanced thunderstorm potential here across the region. We'll take a look at that here in a moment. This is a nice affordable home weather station option here, and if you want to save 10% off, click on the link down below. It's all wireless, solar powered here, great phone app with it, and it works with smart integration with the other stations around it. Highly recommend this weather station. Anyway, National Weather Service Sacramento, talking about the morning lows for today, the afternoon highs. You can see Sacramento to the lower 80s here. Not a bad day out there. Upper level low, still suppressing temperatures a bit across the region. This is for Las Vegas, and you can see no 100-degree days. Still, fairly warm here, getting to the 90s Friday, Saturday here before that next low pressure system starts to arrive here. And you can see Lake Havasu getting up towards 100 degrees as well. This is looking at the warming trend today and Friday as that upper level low departs before the next one arrives. But this is the National Weather Service Hanford. You can see Bakersfield 82, 85 before we start to cool back down a little bit again here as that next low pressure system rolls on in. Day one thunderstorm outlook. You can see much of Nevada is incorporated in this, the Sierra Nevada, Northern California. Day two, something similar, but as that next low arrives, you can see there will be some thunderstorm potential down even through Southern California, the higher terrain here, maybe the Grapevine out there as well. This is looking at the snow water equivalent for the entire state. We're down below that 90th percentile for this time of year right now, but there's still, about a foot of snow water equivalent, maybe a little more up there. By most of the time, this time of year, we're almost fully melted out for most part, except for the highest peaks, but we still got some of that going on there. This is looking at the European last night's run here. There's that upper level low that's departing now. You can see it moving out of the way. Then it gets replaced by another one here. And it's almost as if something is going on here across the subtropics here. Maybe in a bit of an enhancement of the jet stream here due to that developing El Nino. As you can see, this low pressure continuing to be quite persistent off the coastline of California here. More on that towards the end of the video. And with this slide a bit here as well, you can see this subtropical jet stream possibly being enhanced by the developing El Nino. This low pressure system rolls into California there, and you can kind of see that jet stream just kind of persistently hanging on there as we look 144 hours out. This would be next Tuesday. You can kind of see how it just continues to redevelop here. More on this here towards the end of the video. Looking at the NAM 3KM, the high resolution model, this is the 12Z run. So as we go through the day today, you can see the thunderstorms pop up across some of Northern California and the Sierra Nevada here, across the state of Nevada as well. Wane as you go into the early morning hours, and then redevelop here a bit as you go through the afternoon hours again on through Friday, but then watch as this next low pressure system arrives, and again it's going to have this negatively tilted a little bit of negatively tilted direction here as this thunderstorms are going to fire down from the southeast and move up towards the northwest again here. Will this bring some more thunderstorm activity across the coastal regions? It's a possibility here. We'll continue to monitor this in a bit more detail tomorrow as well. This would be Saturday afternoon shown here. This is looking at 700 millibars here, 10,000 feet. Again, the NAM 3KM hot off the press. As you can see, the colder air aloft here associated with that low pressure system here. Put it into motion, and you'll clearly see the next low pressure system arriving here, keeping things a bit cooler than normal here across the state. But you can clearly see that rotating around out there. Nice visual diagram of the cold air aloft. It's going to help spawn some of these thunderstorms here as we go through the weekend. This is looking at cyclonic relative vorticities. You can kind of see the turning in the atmosphere here at about 18,000 feet. And you can see, if you watch here, put in motion, you can see the spin of that upper level low here as it moves off and out over the state of California, and the next one starts to take its place here. And we're looking about Friday night here, as you can see the spin in the atmosphere off the coastline clearly, and kind of the negative tilt that this trough is taking here, bringing that direction from southeast to northwest of here, maybe bringing some thunderstorms out off the mountains again as we go on into this weekend. We'll look at that in a little bit more detail tomorrow. The NAM 3KM goes out about 60 hours here, which would be Saturday afternoon. Tomorrow we'll go out to Sunday afternoon as we're doing the video. Here we go, 2-meter temperature anomaly, and you can see below average for much of the state, including Nevada here. As we scroll through this weekend, you can kind of see that continue and even drop off a little bit more as the next low arrives here as we go through the following weekend there. That's last night's European run. This is the day one excessive rainfall outlook, so there is a potential for some localized flooding here across some of the Sierra Nevada, Northern California. You can see the big bullseye there across Idaho and Montana for day one. This would be day two, does include portions of the Sierra Nevada again and Nevada here. And day three, as that next upper level low arrives here, you can see it does include the Sierra Nevada again with some thunderstorm potential. This is looking at daily 2-meter max temperature here. Again, generally below average here, and you can see some nice comfortable temperatures across the valley areas. Of course, the desert's going to be a little bit warmer here. But if you want to really cool off, get out to the coastline here. You're dealing with a marine layer and much cooler conditions versus the interior. Start to bounce back a bit as we go through the following week here. We'll watch that as we go. We'll see what happens after that next low departs on in through the extended forecast. Here we go, simulated infrared satellite imagery, NAM3KM 12Z run. Kind of a nice diagram of what the infrared satellite may look like. You can see the spin in the atmosphere kicking off the thunderstorms across Northern California, the Sierra Nevada, and Nevada as we go through the evening and tonight. You can see the spin in the atmosphere continue as the next low starts to arrive here as we go through Friday, spinning off the coastline here. And by the time you get into Saturday, this is going to kick off some thunderstorms again across the region that could move out over the lower elevations here. So exciting time for cloud watchers here across the state of California. Enjoy these troughs as they are moving through, folks. Now, this is looking at June 2023. This is actually issued today. El Nino is here. We are getting El Nino conditions, and the effects are starting to be felt, believe it or not, across some of the globe. And you can see that one of the classic signatures of a developing El Nino or an El Nino here is an enhancement of the subtropical jet stream. That's what I was talking about a little bit earlier, and it could be the reason as to why we're getting this persistent low pressure systems, keeping things a little bit below average here across the state of California. You can imagine the warmer water developing here, and it casts this gradient that helps enhance that subtropical jet stream there. So yeah, interesting times here. The El Nino is on its way. We are into El Nino conditions. We have to be in those conditions for 3 months to officially be considered an El Nino, but we are well on the way here, and we have a 56% chance right now of being in a strong El Nino coming up, and moderate El Nino chances have gone up to about 84%. So probably coming here, folks. And, you know, El Nino can have big impacts across the state. We'll continue to watch this as we go, and especially as we go into the fall and the winter months. This is a 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. You can see the bullseye across a lot of the desert southwest here as we go through June 17th, 8 to 14 days, something similar there. A lot of the west included in that all the way up to June 21st. Here's the 6 to 10 day precipitation. Bullseye across Utah and some of Nevada here. Does include California, and the 8 to 14 day again across Nevada and Utah there, including some of California there as well. This is the U.S. hazard outlook, and just a reminder that you're still dealing with some snowmelt that can enhance some of the flooding out there locally across some of the higher terrain. And of course, as it runs off into the valley of California there, this goes all the way out through June 21st. But anyway, yeah, so we're going to be dealing with that next low pressure system rolling in here. We'll watch the NAM and see just what kind of movement those storms are going to have. Are they going to be forecast to get out over the lower terrain? Probably a decent bet that you're going to see some thunderstorms come off the higher terrain there into the valley areas and maybe even out to the coast. We'll take a look at that in a little bit more detail tomorrow. Hope you guys are liking these videos. Again, if you guys want that home weather station there, click on the link below to save 10% off. And yeah, we'll do this again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.